in your head, the thing that you're going after, that's going to make me happy. But then you accomplish it, and you realize it never makes you happy. They interview people. They interview some of the same people I interviewed, bro. They're going to get more views, period. They are a machine. Oh, my God.
You already know, man. It's going down again, man. It's Fat Nasty Podcast.
That's right.
I'm one half of the Belly Gang boys.
Let me put my belly on your butt, you heard?
And we're in full effect tonight. Before you do anything, go subscribe, like, comment, repost, tell a friend, tell a friend. Man, we about to have some fun today. Look, we got them already. Look. Hey, look, I promise. Every time somebody hear that, guess what they do?
Right, lad.
They try to hold it in.
Try to hold it in, man. But look, man, we got one of the podcast gurus on here, man.
That's a fact, though.
Man, God dropped him right on our seat, man. He came over here to bless us, man. I'm glad you could be doing anything in the world, man. It's Atlanta. Like you said, I shoot every day, every day.
Honored to be here, man.
Man.
I don't be on this side often. You know what I mean? I'm
always
always doing
here.
interviewing.
For
sure.
So look, man, tell him. I know what he said.
How I feel to be on that side.
It feels good, man. I mean, I think podcasting is growing now so much because everybody wants to tell their story. And the average person, how often do you get someone interested in you enough to let you talk for an hour? When does that ever happen?
Yeah. Right.
No,
that's why you probably ain't gonna have a hard time getting guests. Everybody want to tell their story.
Right.
Everybody want to be interested in. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
I like it.
That's real. And it go back to show you, like, I remember, like I was saying, like podcasting is like better than the old talk shows. Because remember back then you couldn't really get your favorite artist or your favorite athlete on the talk show to hear stuff about them. Now, like podcasting, you hear like old stuff that went on in the locker rooms, or like
for sure.
Yeah, like back in the days, how you like nobody on the basketball team liked this guy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it gets like I love it. You get what I'm saying?
So like radio, it was. I mean, even if an artist was on radio, the whole interview was probably 15 minutes between. We got 4 minutes, then we got an ad break, then we got songs, and then we're back with the artist, and there's another 4 minutes of questions.
Right.
But nobody really get a chance to get the whole get all their bars off. You know what I mean? So, I love the space we in, and I'm super grateful and excited that people are willing to listen to voices now.
Well, that's dope. Well, man, people might not know who you is, so introduce yourself, man. Tell them who you are, man.
Oh, I am David Shands. I'm an entrepreneur, podcaster, man. I'm the teacher of podcasters. There's not many people teaching podcasting in this space, so I put on an event every year called Podcast Summit. It's the first year, but we're doing it every year because I just want to own the space of being able to help people get their voices out into the world. So that's my mission. We have a morning meetup group. We have hundreds of entrepreneurs on a call every single morning, Monday through Friday, and I'm in there every day. It's not pre-recorded. It's live people, bro. So that's what I do. Husband, father. I'm doing my best, man. Entrepreneur.
Right.
You're doing good at it. You need your flowers, man. Just seeing the transition from everything you done did, it's like, dang, man, he really the guru. So just to have you here is a pleasure, man.
Yeah, I am a student, bro.
Man,
I'm still learning.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna tell you had us so happy and you jumped into our what's the name? Like you guys doing your thing. That made our day. Like, man, we doing something.
Bro, I love people that's on the grind, bro. And I'm not afraid to tell somebody. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
dope. That's dope.
I just love
some people know how to share the shine.
Come on, man. I want everybody to win. It's so much room at the top, bro. It's space for everybody to win, man. So that's one thing I pride myself on is I've helped a lot of people on the journey, and a lot of people, they can't deny it. I've helped a lot of people for nothing in return, other than the fact that I know that I've helped somebody. That's my payment. You know what I mean? So I figure if you like, there's been a bunch of people that pulled me up, and I'm not at the top of the charts or nothing like that, but there have been people that helped me along my entrepreneurial journey, so I'm going to help as many people as possible. Hopefully y'all helping people too. You know what I mean? So that's what it's about, man. That's how our community grows.
Right. So what made you start messing with podcasting? Because I heard one thing you was telling me, like, when podcasts first came out, it was just audio. So what made you really get into it?
Well, podcasting is audio now. They just take the conversation and put it on YouTube, but the essence of a podcast is an audio experience. But I didn't really know what podcasting was when I started it. So I'm doing an event called the Social Proof Conference, Social Proof Conference, something like that. It was 2018 or 19. So I had this idea. I'm like, I need to sell some tickets. So I had a bunch of speakers, and I said, I'm going to interview the speakers that are going to speak at the event. So hopefully somebody watched the interview and say, hey, I want to meet that person at the conference and buy a ticket. So that was the only reason I started doing interviews or podcasting. And really, at that time, it was very rare that you hear people interviewing entrepreneurs. It wasn't a lot of that going. Now it is. Now it's a lot more people. But at that point, we have found like a gap. And then after that, I kind of seen EYL kind of just took it and were super consistent with it. So I started before them. They were just consistent before me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it wasn't a lot of like people going on podcast runs. Now it is.
Yeah.
But it was super unique at that time, and people liked it. So, and then I enjoyed hearing the stories. Then I started partnering with the people, and like, you do this business, yo, show me how to do the business, and it was just dope, bro.
That's dope.
Because you definitely had some people come across. Because I think the very first one I seen was with Joshua Crisp. That was the very first one I seen, and I'm just like, yo, he going just how he was talking and what he did was like, yo, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, all right, then just following up. From Wall Street Trap, everybody who you just don't have, like you said, had their own story. Yeah. So it's like listening was like, okay, he got something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a blessing, bro. Yeah, it's a blessing to be in that position to do it, man. I've built so many relationships, and I think even in podcasting, I think what was dope is I learned to communicate a little better. Imagine having to interview. Yo, we're at like 370 episodes already.
Wow, congratulations,
so,
man.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, man. So a lot of those are interviews. Like, you ask hundreds of people questions for an hour, you get better at question asking. You're building relationships. So it spills over to like regular life, not just the podcast for entertainment. So nah, man, I'm super blessed, bro.
That's fine.
That's dope. So, man, look, we kick it off like we like to ask people this. Come on the podcast. Are you petty? You got any pettiness with you?
Are you petty, sir?
Not really.
No, look, hold on.
Okay, explain how you're petty, and maybe I could be like, oh, I do that too. I don't think I am, though.
What you got? My petty, I mean, most time I think pettiness is like getting back at people.
Yeah, a little get back, you know.
Get back.
Or trying to prove a point. Or it could be any way.
All right, one thing I seen that was petty the other day. Scottie Pippen was like, I was better than Michael Jordan. They chopped it up and they had like little boy like, and then it was like I was better than Michael Jordan. Then they got a girl come. It was just like that. I was like, oh man, they is petty.
Well, Scottie is being petty though. Scottie fell away because he got interviews prior to all of what's going on and him saying how great Mike was. Everything you gave Mike all his flowers. Then now the situation a little wicked. Mike was really not good. He was a bad player. He took horrible shots.
I mean, after what was it called, the last dance? After the last dance, he probably felt some way.
Yeah, but he still was quiet after that. Like, yo, he charged it to the game. It's that situation, man. Pippen over there. You know what's going on.
I mean, here's the thing. I think Pippen got a point, though.
Yeah, you think he got a point?
I mean, yeah, I think so.
Okay.
What's the point though? Like, yo, it wasn't that. Because
I think he's a hater for sure. But
we're not arguing his point because he might have one. But it's like at first when you first asked about this man, it was you got to stand on that. Yeah, he's the greatest player. Well, you had everything nice to say about him, and now that it's a little awkward. It's either you just don't say nothing or just like charge it to the game. It's like
he's bitter for sure.
So it's like, yo.
But Mike may not have been Mike if it wasn't for Pippen.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it wasn't. You don't just got to worry about Mike. You got to worry about Pippen.
Right.
So, like, our coach got to put something together to make sure we cover both of them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
understood.
That kind of splits the defense and allows Mike to kind of do his thing. But, I mean, Mike is still great. But it's just, I don't know, man. People,
that's why I said,
you never know what happens.
I love podcasts and stuff now because you get those type of stories.
You never know. You ever said somebody, so let's say y'all brothers, y'all cool, like, yo, Fat, that's my guy. Nasty, yo, these my peoples. Right. But if you hear he said something crazy about you and y'all start beefing, the next interview ain't about how amazing it is. You be like, yo, he was really a sucker. One time we was out. That don't make you petty. It just make, you coming at me. I'm not about to just keep bigging you up when you coming at me.
Right.
So you never know. It could have said something. It
could have. Yeah, you're right.
Jordan could have cooked him behind scenes or something like that and called him like, yo, you was really my lackey. Now you're like, yo, who you talking to, bro?
Right.
And now he changed his tone.
Jordan got
you never know.
Jordan got that attitude too. Jordan.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You never know how Mike is because Mike is just so.
You might have said something vicious to him.
Right.
But no, I don't think I'm
Probably
petty,
said,
bro.
your wife been choosing. So that's wicked.
That's wicked. You tough.
Yeah. I don't think I'm petty though. Honestly, bro, I just let it go.
Okay.
Because I've never had a situation where me getting back at somebody fixed the situation. Ever. Never.
Right.
It don't even make me feel good about it because I spent all this energy getting back at the person. They still don't. It's not like you're going to prove somebody wrong.
Yeah.
Like they're going to be like, yo, yeah, you're right, bro. I was tripping. No, somebody did something foul to you. There's a justification for it. And then I got to like extend my energy to do something foul back.
Yeah, too much. Put too much.
Bro, I be so focused.
Yeah, me too. I just cut people off. That's what I got to do. It's a cut off game. It's cool.
What's the alternative? You going
Dave,
back
where
and
you
forth?
from?
Jersey originally. South
Jersey.
Willingboro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Jersey.
How long you been in Atlanta?
I came 2001 and then graduated high school 2002. Went to Alabama A&M for a little bit. Came back. And I've been,
That's dope.
Yeah.
How was that? How was that experience?
Liddy, bro.
Yeah. Because I went to class. That's how I got down here. I went to CAU, and I tell people that all the time. Liddy, bro.
It was crazy. But Huntsville is a small.
Huntsville's
It's a smaller city. Everybody in the town is your age, though.
You went to the green room and all that?
Oh, yeah, you already know. The green room. Yeah, we was up
I
there,
went
bro.
to the green room one time. They had a outside that joint, man. Yeah.
Yo, green room's crazy.
What's the green room?
That's like that's their club they got
the
down
club.
there. Yeah. Having fun. So you go back and go to homecoming and all
Never. I've never been to homecoming.
What?
You never went back? You never went to homecoming?
For what?
Why not? Homecoming's popping. Especially like, you can make everybody sign NDAs now. I'm like, yo, come shake your hand. Yeah, your drinks, you know. That's petty. That would be petty. No, I'm just playing.
Nah, I just never
went
went back. I mean,
Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what? Like, I ain't been in probably like 8 years because like I have a little league football team. So most of that time when that's Saturday, we playing football.
Yeah.
So I haven't been in a long time neither. So but I used to go. But then I
never went, bro.
Never.
Not
went.
that I didn't want to. It's just always something more important was going on. Like
Right.
I was an entrepreneur.
That's how it was growing up. I never went to Battle of the Bands. Like everybody, I've never been to Battle of the Bands. And everybody feel like that's the dopest joint to go to. I've never been, but I seen it on the drum line.
It's real in the South.
Drum line.
It's
So
real
yeah,
in
I
the
never
South.
went. So we gotta ask you, man, what's your mental state from a 1 to 10? How you feel? Like
You can't use 7 though.
You can't. That would be the number. Like
that's a
7.
safe zone.
That's,
That's a
safe zone.
That's real safe.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
safe zone.
My mental state from 1 to 10, and I can't use 7. I'm probably gonna go on the other side of 7 of like a 6, depending on the day though.
Okay.
Depending on the day. So today maybe 6.
Okay. Elaborate on it. We always ask people that because you're an entrepreneur. You know, people don't. You know, most entrepreneurs don't get checked up on. It's always always doing. Like you said, I'm shooting every day.
Yeah.
I'm on 300 and something episodes, so you never have
That's
time to really. You know what I'm saying? So we always ask people that.
There is a certain pressure attached to accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys have a certain pressure here. You got your own studio and y'all doing your thing. There's a pressure. There's an expectation. I don't know if y'all got family, kids, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I got to go home, but there's also work to do, and I don't want to disappoint my family, but I still got work to do, and then I got employees, and I got to make sure they paid all the time. Zell ain't trying to take no excuse on. He ain't trying to take no paychecks off.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so it's a constant grind, bro. I think it was more satisfying before I accomplished the things that I accomplished, because in your head, the thing that you're going after, that's gonna make me happy. But then you accomplish it, and you realize it never makes you happy. Like if you say you make your first 100,000, like let's say before you ever made $100,000, you say, yo, if I make 6 figures, it's up.
Yeah.
And then you make 6 figures, and it don't be up. And it's like, yo,
It's like I'm still running around trying to figure it out.
and then I gotta
trying to
go
make
to that
more.
next level,
Yeah.
and you get to that next level, you're like, yo, this level ain't what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
So I think if as you're accomplishing your goals, and it doesn't give you the feeling that you thought it was gonna give you, where do you go now? Like, think about these people. They make 10, 20, $100 million, and they blow their own brains out. It's like, yo, I can't find happiness nowhere. I accomplished this, accomplished that. I got this money. I can't find no happiness. Where's my peace? I can't find it.
Yeah.
But if you're not doing nothing, then you feel unfulfilled.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Maybe I would have. I'm a 7, bro. Like I'm 100% a 7.
Look, Dave is the first person that bucked the 7.
Yo,
I'm a 7, bro. Look,
he
I
gave
can't
great
no way around because
explanation
6
behind
is so
it.
low. 6 is almost depression.
yeah, it is. They be like, people be like, man, I see Dave on Fat Nasty,
Yeah,
man.
bro.
Look at that.
Can't say I'm an 8. You know what I
Right,
mean? I
right.
don't know.
What about you?
Where y'all at?
I would say I'm a 6 mentally, just not like I'm in a down space or nothing, because that it do. 6 do
sounds
speak
down.
depression and all that, but
6
it's
sounds
6 just mentally,
terrible.
just with like the time frame. Like, yo, I got my daughter, bro. Like, how you asked about kids and everything. Yeah, we got a family. My daughter's birthday coming up. We just left from out of town from his stepson's birthday, and then it's just like putting everything and having to record. It'd be so much on your plate, but just like spiritually, like how I'm feeling, like as far as my energy on a 10 for sure, but just like where I'm at with everything going on in so little time. To like you be feeling like, dang, I ain't got enough time to do this, and that. Yeah. It just had you sometimes overthink, and I'm an overthinker, so I'll be overthinking shit, knowing down the line, the end of the day I'm gonna be alright. But it just be like getting to that point, be like, damn, I gotta take care of this, and this. But
It be a lot on your plate, especially like you were saying. I'm at like an 8.
You're 8?
Yeah, I'm at an 8. Okay. But I'm at an 8 because I feel like, man, I'm like when we come on this podcast and like when we get the people that we want. I feel like like I said, this is our baby. We started this, and it feel like it's growing. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know how other people feel when they get calls and they be like, "Oh, we got this person coming on." Like, but like our last 3 people we just had, I'm like, man, this is dope. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, like when you walked in here, you was asking us, "Were we making money?" No, we ain't making money off of this. And people, and you know, when people become entrepreneurs, they think like the first year they're gonna make some money. Yeah. The second year, the third year, it could be, man, you don't know when it's gonna be that time for you to hit it. So you get what I'm saying? So I just know like. We closer to winning than we is to failing. So that's why when I come in here and I sit down, man, I'll be at an 8, like, you know, because you can't, like, you're never going to get the time back. Like, I got so much stuff on my plate, like, you know what I'm saying? This is my sanctuary. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Like, because like you said, we got families. I'm about to get married in October.
Congratulations.
You get what I'm saying? Right. So it's
That's
like, I'm trying to, you get what I'm saying? I'm trying to get that together. Then I got my daughter. My daughter keep talking about Disney World. And then, like I said, we going to Clearwater this weekend with his daughter. So it's just like, it's never a time.
It don't stop.
And
It
then
just
like,
don't stop.
if I was sitting at home and I was a bum, my fiance would be like, "Oh, this nigga's a bum." He'd be talking about me like,
you probably
he
won't
ain't
have a
doing that.
fiance.
I probably won't have a fiance. So at least I know that I'm doing
something.
something. So I'm doing something. So it's keeping me, you know, motivated and stuff like that. So, and I have to be at it. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, if I'm down, he's up. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep the show going. So we got to, you know, somebody got to tug the war sometimes. But like I said. I'm at an 8 right now just because, like I said, the vibe is dope, man. Like, man, you don't know how
David Shands in this motherfucker.
Yeah, we got you don't know how that feel. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You don't
like,
understand that morning, son, because, like, yo, even being up early that morning, because we got a group chat amongst me, him, and our producer. We chat, talk. He send a morning word of the day every morning anyway, so we know when he up. So it's like, I see it in the DM. It's like we already been talking like, yo, we got to get David. You got to get David. We've been saying it.
I'm excited,
you know what I'm saying? And then how you can manifest it by speaking. And that morning, when I seen it, I hit them. I'm like, yo, I thought it was bullshit first. I said, so this ain't son. I said, son ain't just hit us and asked about it. I sit on the screen. They're like, nah, I think that's him. Then I'm like, yo, son, really? I'm like, yo, it's lit. And then you were so humble about it. It was like, yo, I'm rocking with it. The energy is reciprocated. Like, we appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't have to do that. There's plenty of people. So to do that, it felt good. To have you here, it's like, it's ill. Like, this what it's about, you know what I'm saying? And especially when we ain't getting no paper from it. Like, this really, like, we doing this off the love and the energy we getting. That's like our payment, you know what I'm saying? I know what's going to come from it at the end of the day.
What's the plan to make money?
Man, merch. Just building our brand. Like, you know, like you said, I don't think it's ever going to be a point in time where we get to a point where we just feel like we made enough money. You get what I'm saying? Because, like, you don't, like, when I feel like you starting your own, like, when you having a baby, that baby don't like until that baby become an adult, then you feel like, damn, I really did it. When you can sit back and be like, look, or like, you know, every parent has that moment. So this is like our baby. So our baby would be like, you know, probably getting a deal or something, and that probably wouldn't even satisfy you because you'd be like, man, we need something else. But like, I feel like every parent feel happy when their kid hits a certain moment, like when they graduate from college, or, you know,
accomplishments.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so when your baby, when she first started walking, you call everybody like, man, look, man, she walking. And then I think when she potty trained, like, man, she ain't using the bathroom on herself no more. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's just steps that we always reaching our goals. And I said, like, right now, it's just getting the people that, you know, got some motion and got stuff going and that can come bless our podcast and give us information. You know what I'm saying? Because like the last couple of weeks, we've been asking, what would you rather have, relationships or information? You know what I'm saying? But I think you need the relationships to get information.
Yeah,
You get what I'm
100%.
saying?
100%.
So, like I said, it's just getting dope. You get what I'm saying? To sit down and vibe with people that.
What'll be a jewel you'll throw out there though, as far as a plan, like just being in the atmosphere, something like you could be like, all right, based off of what you see we got, just an avenue you could push it to, like, yo, y'all should try this out.
Well, I think it's important to set a number first.
Okay.
Like if y'all came together, it was like, yo, in the next 6 months we want to make $100,000 from the podcast.
Right.
I mean, I think you all would come up with some sort of plan.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know what that's going to be, but like y'all got to like brainstorm it.
Mm-hmm.
But I just set targets. It's
Right.
impossible to hit a target that you can't see. Impossible to hit a target that you can't, that's not there.
Right.
So if y'all just rocking and just hoping one day that something happens, you may be right, but you can accelerate that by forcing something to happen based on a plan.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So set
So
those
have y'all
short-term
dropped
goals.
the merch yet?
Yeah,
we
we've been
got
dropping
merch,
merch.
yeah.
And then we just did we recreated a whole new line, so
yeah.
we're about to drop a whole new line.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
How'd
So
y'all
we've
do
been
the
working
merch?
on that. We
Merch
did.
did cool.
Yeah.
It was like, because when we first dropped it, it was around the COVID drop. So like we had did hoodies. So when we ordered them,
2020.
yeah, like 2020.
So I ain't dropped no merch in 3 years.
Yeah, about a year and a half.
A
Yeah,
year
about a year and a
No,
half.
no, we
'Cause
came back with the-
we came back with the hoodies again.
Like 21 and 22.
21,
Yeah.
22, but we haven't ended this
You
whole
can't
year.
drop merch
We had
once a year.
tees. No, we
Yeah,
had
yeah.
tees. No, you're right. You're right. We
You're
had
right.
tees. We still have the merch, but it's just like I said, like yo, because it's on the website. We have the merch available, but it just hasn't really done anything. The traction really hasn't there. So that's why we revamping our brand, our logo, give it
But
something
here's
more.
the thing. It ain't that you necessarily need to revamp it. And I haven't seen it, but I'd imagine that it's not selling because y'all not selling it.
Right.
The stuff just don't happen like,
Right,
yo, we got
right.
the merch out there
Yeah.
and it's not selling. It's not the fact that
Need
it
to be wearing it. on the
isn't
episode.
selling.
Yeah.
The fact is y'all not selling
Selling
it.
it.
Right.
Is that your shirt?
No, it's not.
Y'all not even wearing your own merch.
shit,
Well, I'm
yeah.
going to buy it.
Right. That's
Word
real.
up.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's
if
a
you're
fact.
not telling people, so I wear my merch all the time. My merch don't sell a whole lot, but I understand it's because I'm not telling people to buy.
Right.
If I was out there, yo, we had this idea, and we still just need to do it. My objective was to get a bunch of merch. We got a van, a social proof van, and just ride around downtown and tell people we dropping off merch that day. Now, some people will buy it because they like the clothes. Some people will buy it because they want to be a part of the movement. Some people will buy it because they want some advice or information, or they seen some content somewhere. I don't know why they're going to buy it, but if I set a plan in play to say, yo, this is what we're doing, this is why we're doing it, I'm raising money to do X, and there's a mission behind it, then I'll sell more merch.
Right.
But if it's just sitting on the website,
Yeah.
I'm hoping that people stumble on the website,
Yeah.
and you're not even telling nobody about it.
Right.
So-
right.
Word.
So, like, that's what I'm saying. There's a bunch of different ways to monetize, but it won't help if you don't push it. So, if the original plan of you having the merch, if y'all came together and say, yo, this is what we're going to sell every single week, let's hold each other accountable. That's what we need to talk about in group chats in the morning. How many we selling a day?
Right.
You'll start making more money instantly.
Dope. So how did you come up with the morning calls? What made you start that?
I had a coaching program called Sleepless Nights, and I had a group of people, like some partners with it. But long story short, the calls were like in the evenings. Like we do like 3 calls a month. 3 calls a week. I would do a call. My other partner would do a call. Somebody else would do a call in the evenings. And one day I was telling my crew, like, yo, I wake up. I was waking up at like 10, 11 o'clock every day. And I was like, yo, I want to wake up a little bit earlier. Who wants to wake up with me? And there's the same people in the program that was in the evening calls. I was like, yo, let's get on the call tomorrow at 10 o'clock. And they was like, all right, cool. So we did it. It felt good. Because I had to get up a little earlier, like 9:30 to get prepared for the call, and we on. I'm like, oh, this is good because now I'm up.
Yeah.
Then we pushed it back to like 9:30. Then we pushed it back to 9. And then we pushed it back to 8. And now we get up at 7:45. And as that grew, the only reason I did it because I was waking up late.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I wish I could get like a couple extra hours in the morning. If I woke up a little earlier, I could accomplish more. So people kept joining, and we turned the whole thing into the morning situation.
That's fire.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah, that's fire.
So how did you come up with the name for the podcast?
Social proof?
Was it Sleep for
Sleep of Suckers. That was the
Well, Sleep is for Suckers is my Instagram handle, but that was
okay.
my T-shirt brand when I first, but 2010, 2010, I started the T-shirt brand while I was working at the Cheesecake Factory.
Okay.
So I was a server for 3.5 years. I had this idea for this clothing brand, Sleep is for Suckers. Next 2.5 years, I was able to leave my job because I was selling the T-shirts. So that was the whole brand that I was building, geared towards entrepreneurship, people that's losing sleep doing what they love. So that's where I got the Sleep is for Suckers mantra from, because it was a T-shirt brand, and I just sold a whole bunch of shirts. 2012, I left the Cheesecake Factory to open a kiosk in Cumberland Mall.
Oh, you was
with
working
all
at
my
Cumberland?
T-shirts.
Yeah.
You was working at Cumberland Mall? The
Yeah.
Cheesecake Factory?
No.
Oh.
I worked. So they had a Cheesecake Factory in Buckhead
I remember that one.
before it went to Lenox.
Right.
I was there 3 years. The last 3 years I was at Perimeter Mall.
I know.
And then I was selling T-shirts, and eventually I was like, yo, I'm about to take all my money and open a kiosk in Cumberland Mall with just my T-shirt brand. This is the first time I ever seen somebody building their own clothing brand out of the mall. Now I saw a bunch of people do it after I did it, but that was my idea. I'm like, yo, I'm selling T-shirts out of my car right now, and people come to my house to buy shirts. If I can get people out of my house and just redirect them to the mall, I'll make more money.
Right.
And that's how it worked out. October 2012, first day.
That's month of the year.
That's dope. That's when we get married. This is birthday.
Yeah, man. Congratulations. We're going to ask him the mental health question about 6 months into his marriage. Though. Hey, where you at, bro? Where you at? You can't use 7.
Can't use 7.
Word.
Yeah, look. So, Social Proof, that's your other podcast? That's your podcast?
That's the podcast,
Yeah.
Social Proof Podcast. Yeah.
So what made you come up with that?
So again, I did a Social Proof conference, and I'm interviewing the people, and it just became the whole podcast was to drive people to the conference. But in between conferences, I'm not doing interviews because it's only to drive traffic to the conference. But then I got consistent with the podcast after the conference, and it just became Social Proof. I didn't even have a name, bro. Like, if you look at them first 12 episodes, there's no name. It's like, hey, what's up, y'all? I'm at the podcast. I don't got no name for this joint, but we about to have a dope conversation.
Right.
It's still on YouTube.
Wow.
Like
that was
the
the first 12?
Yeah, I
Do you
had no
remember who
name
they
at all,
were?
bro.
Do you remember who they were?
Yeah, one was Melissa Mitchell. I actually just interviewed her again. I think we had Dana Thomas. We had Jay Morrison. We had it was G. Bryant, Kenny Conwell. We had a bunch of people, man, and we just. Again, no name, bro. Just put it out there.
How were you, like, you built these relationships? Was it through, like, from working or just being around, like, these relationships with these people to get them to come on the show? Or was it just reaching out? Did you do a lot of reaching out?
I mean, you gotta think, bro. When I started, this wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, you need to come tell people, let's put your story on YouTube. And they're like, all right. So Alex Good Energy, I was his first interview ever.
That's dope.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, again, it just wasn't like super common. So my man Kenny Conwell, I did his interview, and I did one with my man G. Bryant, and then a guy by the name of Boniface Ogunti. He sent me a DM like, "Yo, I saw my friend on your show. I want to be on," and people started hitting me from there.
Yeah. That's kind of what's going
bro,
on.
I don't think I was Trap's first interview, but he was like episode 50 for me. But he hadn't done a whole lot of interviews because I remember he was like, yo, this is the first time I got a chance to tell my story.
Yeah.
So back then it wasn't as common now. It wasn't like, yo, I got to get people on a podcast or those talents, they're trying to charge me to get on because they didn't know what it was.
Right.
They just knew that if we do an interview, people going to love their story. They get their story out of there. Somebody's going to be interested. We could put it on video. So it wasn't me trying to get a whole bunch of people on.
Right.
It was people that saw their friend on there like, yo, I want to do it too. I want to do it too. Most of them didn't know what a podcast was.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Were your numbers consistent from the gate?
No, those are trash. But for that time period, those people who have a following are saying, go check this out. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Yo, you know what's crazy? I did interview with B. Simone. And shouts out to B, man.
Shout out to B. Simone.
Yeah.
I paid her to come be a speaker at my event, but we did the interview together. And I guess she loved the interview so much. This is before she had her own podcast. She put the link to the YouTube in her bio for all her followers to go check it out. She was promoting that joint heavy. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. I didn't know. And then she started her own podcast. Maybe she saw that reaction or, it felt good to like really get my story out. Like, I'm not just a comedian. I'm not just a rat. You know what I mean?
Story to tell. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And as soon as she made that decision, podcast went crazy. So it's a little different now than it was. Right. But I say that to say, back then we found a gap. It wasn't going on like that.
Right.
Y'all are gonna have to find a gap.
Yeah.
In the market. So you're interviewing me, right? Asking me questions. And we could say, well, we ask different questions than everybody else, but not really.
Right.
The style is the same. I want to know your story. I want to get your thought process. I want to get your insight. Well, even my own podcast, I'm like, yo, it's starting to get stale. I need to do something else. Not changing. I'm still going to do it because I think we're good at it. And I can pull some stuff out of people that maybe no one else is going to, and make them feel comfortable. But I'm like, yo, I still got to find another gap. So right now, I'm interviewing entrepreneurs, and I'm cooking them on the YouTube.
Yeah.
Like I'm you are not a good business owner.
Right.
I'm at your neck.
Yeah.
So everything on podcasting or whatever is super inspirational, positive. This is not positive.
Yeah.
You are looking at.
Yeah, I'm on your bumper, like. See
bro, Kevin Samuels of entrepreneurship.
You ready? Are you ready for that backlash?
Bro, so I didn't put it on YouTube yet. I just put it on Instagram as like a heat check. Look at the videos.
Yeah.
People loving it.
Yeah. Because they want to see that side of it too.
100%.
Like, okay, because everything is just or let's just make sure, because the world we live in now too, it's a lot of scamming and bullshit. So they need to know, like, is you really on your shit? So they
100%.
need you to ask them questions that they can't act like, oh, all right. They answered correctly, or they stood tall. It's like, oh, that works. You know
the gap. You got to find something
facts.
unique, bro. Because what y'all doing, same thing I'm doing, same thing why y'all doing. So I'm sure y'all probably get some people that are on your podcast. You see, somebody else released a podcast. That means you're on a podcast run, meaning we all are doing the same thing. It's more exposure for that one person. But I'm waiting for somebody to just, like, it needs to be a podcast of just people that's accused of being a scammer. That's it. They calling you a scammer. You need to come on this show. Let's talk about it.
Right.
You feel me? It's different.
They feel like that. They feel like that about mentorships now. Like they feel like everybody like, or be like, I can help you make this money in 90 days. People be like, oh man,
a whole podcast dedicated to Spock. Now we got to get the scammers on. You feel me?
I think the scammers ready to tell their story.
No,
but a lot of them will defend themselves.
A lot of them will, because them part of the scam. Like, I'm about to scam you into believing.
Bro, I'm about to do it.
Get on this.
I'm about to do it.
Because if just say they get on the podcast and make it seem real, you got to jump in their shit.
So you know you got to get your jersey on, though, right?
Yeah. But matter of fact, I don't got the temperament for that.
Yeah, I'm about to say, you got to get you older now. You got to get your jersey on. You niggas gonna be trying to fight you and all type of shit.
On you.
You gonna be like, so did you take Auntie 100,000? They gonna be like, yeah, my man will ask me that shit.
So I gotta pull up an article like, yo, you know that's what she sent me a screenshot, bro, saying you took her bread.
Hey, man, they gonna be jumping over the contract and shit. They gotta have security standing by you. You ready for that one?
Hey, man, you gotta find the gap, bro.
You gotta find the gap, huh?
You gotta find the gap.
So I always thought the gap was like staying consistent. Because, you know, a lot of people, you know, that's what YouTube say. They say, like, a lot of people only do probably 10 episodes and they stop.
100%.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's fighting against the 70% of people who aren't serious. But what about in the circle of people that are already consistent? How you beat them?
Right.
Yeah, because they got something that's keeping them people already watching.
Bro, listen, I cannot compete with EYL, bro. They are a machine.
Right, yeah. They get anybody they want.
They interview people. They interview some of the same people I interviewed, bro. Right. They're going to get more views, period. Yeah. They are a machine. Those are my guys.
Yeah, they are a machine, too.
I can't compete in the same arena of everybody else doing the same thing. I got to find something that only I do until it catches on, and then everybody starts doing it. But if you're the first person doing it, like Burger King will never catch McDonald's, ever. Probably because McDonald's was first. And they were consistent like growing. They'll never catch McDonald's, ever. They started first. They got too much more. They keep laying the blueprint that everybody's following.
Yeah, that's a fact. Dollar menu, even from the dollar menu on down. It's like,
everybody do that. Everybody run.
Wendy's will never, ever catch McDonald's. Yeah. Even though Burger King got a better burger.
Yeah.
Still won't.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, fact.
Even though everybody knows that McDonald's food is fake.
Yeah, they still won't.
They'll never catch McDonald's.
Yeah.
Once you're the pioneer, and you're willing
From
to
with the
adapt
kids
to what's
meals,
happening.
The Happy Meal just alone.
Come on, bro.
They'll never the kids meals in any other spot just ain't
Kids
right.
still want that McDonald's.
Happy
They
Meal.
still want it. They still want it. That's crazy. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, they're ahead of the game.
Mickey
They're
Tree.
innovating. You can't, bro. You can't beat somebody you're trying to imitate. It's just you can't.
Yeah.
It's over.
Can't duplicate it at
Yep.
all.
So tell us about your first summit that you did. How was that?
My first sermon.
Summit.
Oh.
The summit.
I'm like, I don't know.
Pastor Shands in the building.
No, it was good. I mean, we had about 550
Yeah, my
people
boyfriend
there.
messed with you.
Yeah, it's my guy.
Yeah.
Oh, you talking about that? Okay, so my first one was that this conference, but yeah, me and Vanessa, we just did a podcast workshop in Dallas that just was lit.
That was your first one. That was your first time doing it with somebody like that, or no?
No,
Okay.
so I do podcast workshops in Atlanta all the time, and actually his first one, I had him and my man Jay Hill. I'm like, all right, let me bring y'all on, because I kind of mentored him a little bit, and I was just telling him, like, yo, y'all need to do an event. Like the podcast is cool, but if you want to separate yourself from just the people that's doing podcasts, do an event and test your influence. Will somebody come out and see you? So I was like, yo, this is something I'm doing already. I'm like, yo, Jay and Johnny, just come on. Y'all do the event with me. It was dope. And then Johnny was like, yo, I'm going to do an event too. So
Yeah, fire. That's
dope,
fire,
bro.
yeah. Shout out to both of them. We rock, but they both did the show as well. I rock, and they both continuously growing. Like Jay Hill, definitely on fire right now too.
yeah.
That's got his
something,
own touch.
yeah.
I love his.
Yeah.
He got like 5 different podcasts in one.
Bro, he got a gap, bro. Ain't nobody doing what he's doing.
Yeah, ain't nobody. He don't.
Yeah, he
he
get on
don't.
that
Especially-
couch, especially when you get on that couch.
Bruh. Especially from the
he
perspective
keep
he's
eye
coming
candy.
from. He's like, he's the first person I've seen that comes from the perspective of I'm more valuable than the woman.
That's how you feel.
And that's how
about
he
that?
be standing.
Yeah,
he
that's
be
his
standing.
stance,
Yeah,
bro.
he
He's like,
standing
yo,
on
I'm
that.
not. He said, I'm not about to get with you just because you cute. Like, yo, you gotta impress me.
Yeah,
That's his position.
yeah. And he be standing on it.
He stands on it, bro. He got his the own little lighting situation. He be talking his talk. He found a gap. It's gonna be hard to duplicate what he does.
Yeah.
No. I seen him get more people on his live than rappers do.
100%.
It won't even look the same from anybody else, 'cause it's like, this is where it come from.
Booty talk, what's his name? It's
Yeah.
go crazy. Like it'd be like it's dope. Like I said,
Yeah, man.
that's hard.
He found a gap.
Yeah, he found the gap.
Yeah.
Yeah, find the gap.
Y'all gotta find a gap.
Yeah.
If not, it's
I'm gonna be like everybody else.
like everybody else.
What was your first gap?
Again, wasn't nobody interviewing entrepreneurs before.
Oh, okay.
But now it's more prevalent. But now I'm going towards entrepreneurs that ain't got it together. Let me grill you. Let me cook you real quick. Let you know why you don't need to be doing entrepreneurship. If I can talk you out in like a 20-minute conversation, you was gonna quit anyway.
Right.
But for the people that's like, all right, I'm taking that as constructive criticism, then I'm gonna go back to the drawing board. They're gonna be successful.
Right.
But ain't nobody seeing that live interaction like that. So I'm bringing it.
But you got somewhat of a blueprint too to call yourself the guru. So it's like something you got like some type of lane, especially teaching. Like, okay, I can show you how to get money with this podcast thing. So
Just
what?
study it.
Yeah, huh? Just study it. Oh, you said you study.
No,
it.
I study. Yeah, I study.
Yeah,
again.
right. So it's like, yo, what if you had, because you teach your classes, and you like, okay, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna teach y'all how to start a podcast. What's some of the pointers or you will give with starting a podcast to make money off it? Because anybody can start one, like you said. Because I was seeing you say, okay, you got a cell phone. That's all you need. Your cell phone, a camera, boom. It's easy to start it.
Yeah.
But now starting it, we want to make some money because nobody want to just get up and talk. So how we get into the paper?
You got to build an audience.
Yeah.
So it sounds like a kind of like a blanket answer, but people don't pay. Like sponsorships don't sponsor a podcast. They sponsor an audience. Like as you grow your audience, sponsors are like, yo, let me give you some money. They're not giving you your podcast because it's a cool podcast. They're giving it to you because there's an audience behind you. The first thing is we got to come up with a plan to get people to fall in love with what we do. And if you're not good at it, I don't really know how you're going to grow an audience. You got to be good at it, one. But two, there's a bunch of different ways. If you have a particular business, let's say you have a real estate business, you can start a podcast around real estate and driving people to your podcast to show that you're an expert in it and someone to buy a house from you. So it's not like the podcast made money, but you put out enough information where someone says, yo, I want to buy a house from you. meaning we're building the podcast around a business model. Some people build a podcast just to be podcasting, but there should be thinking, how am I going to make money first, and how can I use the podcast to make money? Not how can I get the podcast to make money.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, perfect sense.
So, again, the merch is a good play. Like, you just got to get people interested. You can partner with people who have a following and be the marketing arm or the podcast arm for their particular message. The fact that you all have a podcast gives you the license to teach people how to start. There would be people that pay you
to see us start
to learn how to put their videos on YouTube, or what type of mic that is, what type of camera that is, what type of lights you got.
Right.
So the fact that you have a podcast automatically gives you a license to make money.
Right.
There's a lot of people that want to start. Celebrities that want to start, they have no idea what to do.
Right. And they're right.
But you know what you like, celebrities start because they have what? They have that audience.
They got an audience.
Like you said, like B. Simone, it's easy for her to get a podcast and jump right into it and sit there and talk because people already follow her and want to know her story and stuff like that. So the audience is already there.
Not every celebrity that starts a podcast works out.
Yeah.
B got something special.
Right. No, hers
she
is dope.
has
Hers is
a
dope,
more
dope.
intimate conversation. They bring in kind of like religion around it and kind of like
I think that fall in line too with your podcast or whatever podcast you on. Somewhat the conversation plays a part of what your audience
be
taps
good at
into.
it, bro.
Yeah, exactly, and be able to talk to all type of people and have a not necessarily genuine but a fluent conversation with somebody. You know what I'm saying?
My boy DeWine said something that was so funny. Remember y'all was on Clubhouse? Y'all never joined Clubhouse?
No.
So Clubhouse is an audio only app, pretty much.
Yeah.
Where you just like you got to sit there and listen. And he was saying that Clubhouse, and I think podcasting applies to this too. Podcasting for someone who has something to say is similar to a bad chick on Instagram.
No, elaborate on that.
He said,
So remember this maybe 5 years ago, if you was bad, you got followers. Period. If you took them pictures, you knew your angles, you bad, you get followers. Period. Well, podcasting, if you have something to say, that makes it attractive because it's an audio experience. So if you can really put out some game and have people like, yo, that was good, they will follow.
Like, that's how Clubhouse rooms used to get.
Yeah, right. Because you had something to say, and people's interested in that.
Yeah,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, we have to try hard to get people to follow us on Instagram.
Yeah,
right.
Even like 5-10 years ago. But it used to be, yo, if you were just attractive, you're going to get 100,000 followers, period. Because you're bad.
Yeah. But now everybody bad.
Now everybody bad. You don't know who bad. You don't know who's
who
what.
Bad, you don't know what's
You don't
what.
know, like, if it's
who is who. Is that a pit bull?
Are you a bad, you a woman, or you a, like, you don't want to just.
You don't go there, right.
Bro, them filters are crazy. You see the videos where the person put on a makeup and then take their makeup off and put the makeup back on.
That's how you get the
It's like a whole new mask and face. It's like,
it's crazy.
That's why it's not as, social media isn't as powerful, I don't think, as it used to be, honestly.
You feel like that? Why you feel like that?
Bro.
Because I'm about to say social media.
You don't think it's as powerful as it used to be?
No.
And what reference, like you mean in what? As powerful as what? Because I would say it's controlling a lot. So it's like the power behind it is there. Like, yo, what people, like you got people who live their life through Instagram.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
true.
saying?
But when someone says something, it doesn't hold as much weight. If 15 years ago, if Jay-Z wore your T-shirt on MTV or something like that, you're on forever. You're good.
Yeah.
But now a celebrity could wear your shirt and nobody cares.
No, the right celebrity.
Who? Name one.
You think if Jay-Z if he put that shirt on, it wouldn't go stupid?
I would get some notoriety, but it ain't like everybody drops everything to try to find this shirt.
I bet they would.
Okay,
No,
in that sense, I get it. Because I
Not
think
now.
it's just because it's so many. It's so many. No, because back then, if you see Jay-Z on TV, everybody don't got access to do that, to be on TV, to show this. So with Instagram, you can have, Jay-Z could wear, but it's 1,000 other celebrities, 1,000 other people that people are following or watching to see wear something. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all don't think in a couple weeks you're gonna see dudes with shoulder pads in their shirt?
Let me ask you. Have you ever had a celebrity retweet your stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keisha
Cole,
21 Savage.
If that happened 10 years ago, you're an instant celebrity.
Yeah, no, that's
You're
a
not
fact.
now.
Yeah, no, that's
Bro,
that's what I said. Just because of access.
Okay, that's real.
So the accessibility, I feel like, because it's like when they do that, it's like this was the only way.
Right.
But that's just the way. Because if you think about it, that's the same way that with music, the way albums were sold, you had to go buy a CD or to hear certain music. Now that it's streamed, it's easier to get. Like so, the numbers ain't.
But even like when social media was fresh, like if a celebrity said something, bro, about you, oh my gosh, you're on. The whole world clamors to you. But because it's so much promotion and it's so many celebrities and influencers, no one influencer has that power anymore.
That's a
You know what I mean?
sense of that.
That's real. That's real. You know what? That's actually kind of right.
No, it's powerful.
Because
in that sense, that definitely makes sense. Because like you said, it's so many other ones. It's like and even with the Jay-Z reference, everybody not a fan of Hov. So he do go wear your shit. Everybody ain't watching it versus a young boy or somebody who everybody like, they see it, could get way more. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie though, but if the right celebrity posted you on his page, you getting some attraction.
You will get you're not. I'm not saying you're not getting none.
Yeah.
But it's not like so.
It's not like you the most popping person tomorrow just because this person was. Yeah.
Yeah. So
no, that's because like, we've been posted. We done been posted like these people. Keisha Cole definitely reposted us. Shout out to them, Big Bank, Meek Mill, 21 Savage. We don't have these reposts. You know what I'm saying? We might get a few followers, but it'd be like, okay, damn. Versus like if it was somebody
when we did like I said, with the Mr. 2 Weeks out, because that was all.
But I'm saying that's what I'm saying. You get the attraction.
What's a lot?
20,000.
You picked up 20,000 more followers.
Yeah, we was at 5,000 followers.
That's because we went viral.
Yeah, we went viral.
Yeah, how many views did that joint get?
Like 3 million.
Got 3 million views on the joint.
So,
yeah. So again,
right.
That's probably accumulation of, well, someone posted, and then a bunch of their celebrity friends posted.
Right.
If they posted it, right? Out of these 3 million,
because it was
like
traction.
Super influential people that probably posted that joint.
That's real.
Because out of 3 million, a great turnaround for it would have been 100 to 200,000.
Bro, you're on.
Easy, yeah. That would have been like, you did it. Because 3 million views should be like, whew,
10 years ago?
You can't even get 10% of that would have been like, So I get it.
So what you think dumbed it down?
Just
like, what you think,
accessibility.
Okay.
Accessibility.
Yeah, accessibility is definitely.
People don't have.
Because I don't think IG even pay you anymore because it's so like people used to get paid off reels and all that.
Yeah, I used to get paid.
Oh, what?
They just not.
They stopped it. Yeah.
And it's a smart business move because what we gonna do? What you gonna do? Stop making content?
Yeah.
What you gonna do? So I think Mark Zuckerberg was like, "Yo, bro, shut down all." He said, "All money in, no money out."
You use TikTok and those other platforms?
Yeah, we post on there.
Oh, okay.
What's your favorite platform?
YouTube.
YouTube.
They pay me.
Right.
They pay me, so they're my favorite.
Yeah.
You got any of the plaques yet? Any YouTube plaques?
Yeah, I got the 100,000, John. So.
Okay.
Subscribers?
Yeah.
Joint? Oh, okay. That's fire.
That's dope. That's dope.
I think we're at like 300,000 now, I believe.
Damn. That's fire. How long it took you to get to that 100,000?
I started my channel in 2010. 2010 to 2020, I got no traction.
Damn.
One interview. So I want to say it's interview number 50 something. I interviewed Wall Street Trapper.
Shout out to Wall Street Trapper, man.
Yeah.
That interview did well.
His story was crazy on there though.
But that interview made another one of my interviews that I did like 15 episodes before that really take off.
Also, they went back to an older.
Yeah. So Traps was doing all right, but I saw an influx of this other one that I did, like 15 episodes back. And then it started getting traction. But, bro, for 50 episodes, nothing's happening.
Right.
For 10 years of creating content, nothing really happening.
Right.
What kind of content was you creating?
Entrepreneurship stuff.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's all still on there, too.
That's crazy you say that, not cutting you off, because it's like when we got our first peak, our traction really going, was, all right, because Mr. 2 Weeks Out and them, they had did it. Like, it was doing what it did. But prior to that, we had Big Bang. And Big Bang, we had them post all his clips, but we had a few in the cut. Just that we never posted. Like, he had done did his views, everything. And I just randomly one day just go post, and it went through the roof, did 100,000 in like a day and a half. Like, everybody, I'm like, damn. And it started going. It was prior, though. It was an episode prior to that. And then when we followed up with the Mr. Tweet, then it just took off more. And it was like, wow, like, damn, they went back to this. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking, was it the time we posted it? What was it that drew it? But it was really just, I guess somebody seen something and went back and watched or just chose. And it's like, that's what had it going. You know
Absolutely.
What's some things you fear in the podcast game? Like, what's some things you fear?
That I fear?
Mm-hmm.
I'm on high hopes for they can't do nothing but start paying people more money. So once a bar is set, you pay a certain amount of people, like a certain amount of money. That's the bar.
Right.
So it only starts going up. You know what I mean? So it's nothing that I fear. I'm really excited about podcasting, bro.
Okay.
It's never been a time in history where people were this comfortable listening to voices that weren't like the leader of a religious organization for an hour every single week.
Yeah. Like
we've never had
consistently,
that.
faithfully, like
we've never had that.
Yeah.
Right.
Except for maybe like when the radio first came out. You know what I mean?
Who you maybe?
Yeah.
I would say Breakfast Club helped us out a lot too with podcasts.
So?
Yeah, because I mean, like you
I
said,
agree.
they were like
as far
the
as
first
the
people. They were the
interviews
first
and
people that had them hour interviews, and you really sat there and you listened to it. Like shout out to the Breakfast Club, and they was getting your favorite people and get what I'm saying. I always feel like they kick the podcast. And then what's Joe Rogan? You know he does his thing. He goes through.
But you know how long he was podcasting before he got that deal?
No.
Not long.
12 years.
Oh
Wow.
He was podcasting 12 years before he got that $100 million.
Yeah. The consistency and the audience.
And he gets some good people too.
Yeah,
nobody
for sure.
Nobody gets with
And
Joe
he got
Rogan.
like a little bit of celebrity status because he was on Fear Factor and all that kind of stuff.
And he does UFC fights and all that, so he can get anybody too.
That makes sense.
How you feel about that? Like, well, you can get any celebrity. You think that takes you like through the roof too? That's why I feel like Earn Your Leisure can get anybody too. That's why they go like.
They talking about that paper, son, and how to get
but one of their dopest joints is with Steve Harvey. He's sitting at his house and they really kicking.
Yeah, but Steve be talking that talk. And then they asked like the perfect questions that like it was just a dope
vibe. Yeah. The vibe was dope. It was dope.
But they had like 260 something episodes too. Like, how many went viral? A few. So you gotta all of them do well. Don't get me wrong, but you gotta keep putting it. You don't know what's gonna go. That's why you put out that clip. Yeah. It's not like, yo, let me strategically put this clip out, bro. You had a body of work. Yeah. Something's bound to go. Yeah. Right. You know what I mean? That 2 weeks out clip. Yeah. Something's bound to go. You put enough
Just
content.
Stay consistent with it.
That's why we in the studio every day and we create content.
Yeah, facts.
We don't know what's gonna go.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's fine. I like what you said. You said you got your camera set up so you can go in there and just do everything yourself.
We work, bro, every day.
Right.
That's real discipline, though, that every morning get up faithfully, because it's definitely faithfully. When I get up and go, it's David Shands live, and you right there with that fucking microphone. More like, yo, this nigga not bullshit, son.
Find the gap. Where would you go as an entrepreneur to have an inspirational word every day?
Yeah, and that's for the people who getting ready to go to work, and they can tap in and listen to something to kickstart everything.
So you might be Pastor David then. You
you
might be Pastor David, man. That's dope. That's dope, man. So, man, what's some jewels you would like, give some people? I mean, like, I know you said the gap.
Though?
Like, I mean, people that's consistent, they consistent, they almost there, and they getting scared that it ain't coming through for them like that. What's something that you tell them to do?
I don't know. I'd have to look at this specific situation, because we could say keep going, but you may be doing something wrong.
Right.
If you're not analyzing the work, if you're just working, you're not analyzing what you're doing, you could be doing something wrong that's preventing you from winning. So I'm always looking at the landscape of, okay, what are we doing? Why aren't people feeling this? Why isn't this going crazy? What's something that we can tweak? So I'm on a thumbnail thing right now. We had a thumbnail, then I had somebody change it, I had a consultant come in. I don't like the thumbnails that he created, but I'm still looking for a thumbnail designer. I just found one. I'm about to hire about to have him redo all 370 thumbnails.
Gonna drop them
all over. Try it.
Yeah, that was a little jewel. What you call it? Drop on us too, David, with the thumbnail. Yeah,
the thumbnail. What's the name? The video right before your podcast. Come on.
The intros. And
the
stuff.
intros. Throw a little video right there, because that makes people go watch the whole episode.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So that's a little game where, like I said, that's been a blessing. We've been getting a lot of game and stuff. That's why
As far as with the Instagram, are you consistent? Well, I know you're very much consistent, but are you real adamant on I think it was an interview or something, with the posting, them 3 and 4 times, yo, we could post once a day, but are you as far as you want that traction, you need to it's a must that you have that early morning, midday, or whatever your time slots are.
I mean, you should. I mean, I'm not super consistent. We'll post something every day.
Oh, okay.
Like my podcast page, we'll post like 2 or 3 times a day. YouTube, we throwing like 2 shorts up a day. Facebook, I think we're doing 2 shorts a day on Facebook as well. My personal, I mean, I'm gonna do something every day, 1 to 4 posts a day. But I just
You going content?
I don't even like Instagram like that, bro.
Oh, you know why not?
I mean, the algorithm decides what's lit and what's not. I'm always just trying to create like a different. How do I post something different, bro? I'm getting tired of I do a podcast interview, I take the clips and post the clips. I'm getting tired of that.
Yeah.
Like, what can we deliver that's different?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
So the traction better on the YouTube as far as the daily clips and the Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, you see better like with your shorts. Versus
Well, I think it's all accumulation that drives people to the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Like, the more content you put out, the more people have an opportunity to see you. It's not always about finding the right customer. It's about making it easy to be found.
Yeah.
I want people to like stumble on
it's everywhere.
my content.
Okay.
So we put it everywhere.
Yeah.
I've been trying to. My guy is supposed to be posting on LinkedIn too. Like, just post some same 2-3 clips on LinkedIn.
You pay for the little sponsorships and shit. You do that. You
pay for sponsorship.
You know how they do what's that on Instagram? You can pay for the little ad sponsors or whatever. Like, I think that's What is it called? Do you run ads on the Instagram?
Not for the podcast, but like this podcast summit I got coming up. I'm running
for that. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So certain things you run ads for.
Yeah, if it's gonna make me some money.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. I feel you. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
What's the process of that? Like so you just find a venue, lock in, cause like I see you traveling with it. So is that relationships or just like, okay, we're gonna go out here and just create this and just do this? Like, let's
Go,
just do
bro.
it. Oh,
Like if I have an idea, I'm just gonna go after it and then figure it out.
Yeah.
Right.
That's just.
So you just went out there. So you just went to Houston and found the venue.
Yeah. So the Dallas thing, it was just. I got a couple things going on. We do got a tour. We just pick a venue. We promote. We tell everybody we're gonna be there.
Right.
But in Miami, we're doing a podcast summit specifically for podcasters, which is super niche. So it's a little more. Well, you got to want to be into podcasting to come. And now I'm trying to convince business owners, you need to have a podcast because you can use the podcast as a marketing arm for your business. So it's all about podcasting, how to have engaging conversations, how to interview, how to make money. Like, we're heavy on monetization. We got a couple advertiser sponsors, like my man Gary. He had $1 million deal with McDonald's, and the deal was to spend $1 million advertising on podcasters. But that was like a couple of years ago, and he's been crushing it ever since. So I don't know what he's doing now, but I talked to him last night. He's going to be a speaker there because he's going to be teaching us how to approach sponsors. How do we get these ad dollars? This is stuff that nobody knows, that nobody's teaching. So I feel it's an obligation. Over 2 days, July 30th and 31st, it's going to be the most impactful podcast summit ever.
You got to be there.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, you got to. If you got a podcast, you need to be there for sure.
Nah, you got to be there. Gotta be
facts.
Need those Jews.
Yep.
So what's your motivation, man? What keep you motivated, man? What keep you going?
What keeps me going? Wow, it's an interesting question. What keeps me going?
Right.
I don't know. It's just going. Like, I don't know if it's a thing that keeps me going. It's like,
right. No, because remember I heard you saying like you hit the number and you just be like, I did it.
it's a life we live. Like, what gets you out of the bed every morning? You got another chance. So if I have the opportunity to go after it, let's go after it.
Right.
The alternative is not going anywhere. Who wants to do that? So it's not like I wake up and choose, I'm going to keep going. It's like, I don't want to just sit in the bed.
Right.
Let's go after it. What keeps you going?
My family.
Really?
Yeah.
Explain that.
I feel like I got to be the one who changed the generation curse. You know what I'm saying? I was the first one who went to college, graduated from college.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just building. You get what I'm saying? I'm building. So my family keeps me going because I know that I'm the backbone that keeps everything. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I feel that. What keeps you going?
Yeah, my daughter, definitely just having her and not having my father in my life and now being one, it's just a whole different feeling. Like, I got to show you a whole different like perspective of life and a whole different life. Because knowing if I would have had that, things could have, not saying I'm mad at how I turned out, but just having those both parents is very much, especially a father. Like, of course, mother's been around forever. Like, mothers always get that praise, but men, fathers, and their kids, especially young daughters, young women, is very much important.
Yeah, yo, for some reason, bro, it's like my kids do the opposite to keep me going. Yeah. Like when I had kids, bro, it like took my inspiration and motivation for work, bro. It was crazy.
Oh, because you tied into them, or
I just love being home. Yeah. I don't want to spend all my time working. Right. Bro, I was yesterday. This is maybe 8, 9 o'clock at night, and my son, like he's been standing up lately on stuff. Like he'll grab something and stand up. He's 7 months. Mm-hmm. He stood up yesterday, and he just stood there for like 8 seconds before he fell. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting there like, yo,
that's dope.
He stood up in just 7 months now. Yeah. And my wife's like, get the camera, oh my gosh. But I saw it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I saw it. I was like, yo, oh wow, I'm here. Yeah. I'm not out grinding. Yeah. Like my daughter Corey, now she don't always be one to hang out with me, but she do work. We go to the studio and we work. I make sure she doing something. I'm like, yo, just connect with my assistant and y'all do something. If you sitting around too long, what am I say? Get up, go do something, right? But these moments that I get to share with her and she can see, I'm not only interviewing people, I'm being interviewed and running a business and seeing me talking to my employees and all that kind of stuff, and she gets to see it. I don't know how she's taking it now, but later she's picking some of this stuff up.
That's
so
motivating.
It's not the, say it again?
That's motivating. Because knowing that she's going to pick it up and knowing what you're thinking of, knowing that she's going to get to that space and be like, that's keeping you going.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Corey, you keeping me going.
Look, and your little man, to see that, like you said, to see that, yeah. So,
like, Junior?
Was your father around in your life?
Yeah. See, the most amazing father ever.
Right. Me and you, I had the cheat code. My pops was around. Yeah, you know, I called it the cheat code. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I say. Like, so my dad didn't graduate, but he worked his ass off. He drove trucks every day. But it was just like, I seen my dad get up and do that shit. I'm like, man, I got to be like that. Yeah. I got to be, you know what I'm saying? So, like, and that's what Fat Nasty give you. You get what I'm saying? That's the gap.
Absolutely. That's the gap, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
Because, like, you know, nobody would have never noticed that about you, like, you know. That
I don't know what keeps me going.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
So steady see you going, like, yo, what's that fire in David? Because it's something getting that nigga up at 8 in the morning every morning.
But here's the thing, bro. The only reason it's hard for me to answer the question is because, you know, you do something so long, it's just
repetitive.
It just becomes what I do. Like I wake up and I just go to work. So it's not like it's not like when I get up, it's like, oh yeah, I don't want to go, but I gotta go grind. No, I just get up and it's just my life. So it's a routine.
So tell me this: so if you was getting up and doing that, and now you go from, or before you seen all these following, you just getting 10 people every day, or it dropped from 10 to 5. Nobody's listening. You just getting up doing it. You continuing to do it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, because it's my routine.
Oh, okay.
So I wake up at 6:30 and I hit the snooze button every day. And then it goes back off at 6:39 every morning. And then I get up, I walk into the room, or I'll sit in the bed if my daughter's kind of quiet, and I'll read the book. We have a book club, so I'll read the chapter that we're supposed to read, and then I'll prepare whatever message I'm going to give on the morning meetup that morning. I get that together, I hop in the shower, get dressed, go do the call, then I go to the office, and then we figure out what we're going to do that day. That's my life every morning. So it's not like something that I need something to push me. It's just my life. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like what keeps you going to work every day. It's just you go to work. This is my job. It's what I do.
Yeah, but that ain't got to be your job. You ain't got to do that. So it's a choice that you have to make.
Well, either that or you go hungry.
Be a bum. Yeah, I mean, it's people that choose that.
Maybe, yeah.
People that choose that, you got to think about that.
I don't want to be a bum. I don't
want to be a bum. You want to be homeless.
Absolutely.
So, you know what I'm saying? So what was one of your best vacations with your family? Like, you know what I'm saying, that you can remember?
I mean, every vacation.
Okay.
Every vacation is like a different experience. So, yeah, every one of them, man. Just I like being with my family.
Right.
I really, really like being with my family.
Find out what keep you going. You don't want to be a bum.
I don't want to be a bum. For sure. For sure.
So we figured it out what keeps you going, man.
Absolutely.
So what's new for you, man? What's something new that you're getting into?
Different types of content. Again, this podcast summit. That my objective is to own the space of podcast education. So you'll see. I do so much around the space. Like, I have a podcast and it's doing well. I bought a podcasting studio. We're building another one. It got 15,000 square feet. We just purchased.
Congratulations.
Mad, appreciate it. It's mad. It's gonna take a bunch of money, but we're walking in it. So I got a podcast course. We're releasing another podcast course. I'm doing a podcast summit. So podcast education, I'm trying to own that space. So I think it's important that we figure out what area we want to own. Like what when someone thinks about this thing, what do they think about? Like, I want them to think about me when they think about this thing. So if somebody says sports or sports analyst, right? I believe Cameron is thinking to himself, yo, I want to own the space
He got
They
some
go
sports
crazy.
and
They
entertainment.
just when you start hearing your name on Sports Center on ESPN, they just said him and May's name. In the middle
Oh, no,
of
they
that.
got
so
something
unique,
dope. They got
ain't it?
something dope.
Isn't it unique?
Yeah, that's fire.
Y'all tell
And
you,
they
guess what?
created their
And you know
own
what?
lane for it.
That's
That's
a hard spot to jump into. Sports, because you have to talk about, like, if you have a sport podcast and you're not interested, then guess what I'm gonna go do? I'm gonna go watch Sports Center.
Yeah,
You
for
know what I'm
sure.
saying? Or I'm gonna go watch Skip Bayless, or I'm gonna go watch First Take. I don't have to listen to your podcast unless you really have something that's gonna separate yourself from the.
Cussing, he got strippers in the
Yeah,
joint and
that's what
all
I said. They
like,
got everything.
Pause moments.
It's
is
the
everything.
pause moments is
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah. Barely
Shout out to
talk.
You know
Kevin
what's
Mace,
crazy?
man.
I
Yeah.
watch it just for the pause moments.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
I'm not even into sports like that, bro. It'd be the pause moments.
I ain't gonna lie. Cameron Mace came out of nowhere, like when Nori came out with Dream Champs.
Yeah.
Like when Nori punched everybody with Dream Champs, it was just like.
And they know what they be talking about. Them niggas, like, they ain't just talking. It's like they real sports
One of my
fans.
favorite joints so far, it was Cam was like, "Yo, Mace, I'm glad I ain't passed you the ball, son. I'd have passed you the ball. We'd have went to JUCO or something. He said we wouldn't have sold this many records.
That's crazy,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Word, that was
Yeah,
real,
man.
though.
Think about it, it's different, bro.
Yeah.
So if somebody watch my podcast and your podcast, they're not gonna look at both of us and say, "Oh, well, one of them's super unique."
Yeah.
It's the same thing, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, start thinking about it. What is an element that we can add that nobody's doing?
Yeah, facts. A little segment we could throw in there.
Yeah.
Got some ideas brewing, though. Yeah, that's fire.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's hard. Well, man, like I said, man, we appreciate you coming through and blessing us, man.
Man.
I'm honored.
You didn't have to, man. You came sit on the couch.
I had to, man.
We need to join one of them summits, man. Let us know how we get along, man. How we go be a part of whatever you got going on.
Yeah,
like
definitely. Anytime
Absolutely.
you, man, you need to reach out to us, man. I would love to be around that for sure. Feel that vibe, man.
Yo, I do. I didn't do it last month. I think I might skip 2 months, but about 2 months in a row, I was getting together like all the podcasters that I knew, and we just get together and chop it up.
Oh,
Yeah, we would.
definitely.
Yeah, if y'all got that. Yeah.
We'll do one for sure this coming month.
Yeah,
Okay,
lock
well,
me
yeah,
in.
we'll do
We
one.
definitely
Like
be
that.
there. If I ain't coaching football,
Yeah, depending on what we'll come through. You see how we do. You don't
bless.
drink or nothing, but we'll come with some whatever needed.
All right,
Food,
nah, appreciate
everything.
it. Nah, you ain't gotta worry about it, bro. I get the
Yeah.
food. We just kick it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
dope.
That's
That's
valuable
dope.
to me.
That's dope, man. Like I said, man, pleasure having you, man.
Yeah,
I
man.
know you about to probably go back to work.
Going straight
Go
back.
back to
Going
work. They
back
say I'm
to the
13
studio.
minutes away, y'all. I'm right back to work,
bro.
man.
Yeah, y'all can come check out the
Yeah.
studio too if
Yeah,
y'all free.
facts.
Yeah, we definitely
Okay.
probably pull up on you, man. But like I said, man, appreciate you, man. You can tell them your IG where they can find you at and everything,
Absolutely.
man.
Hey, look, y'all, podcastsummit.com, July 30th and 31st, the premier podcast summit. Listen, if you're watching this after July 30th and 31st, we will be doing a whole bunch of podcast education stuff throughout the year. So we have something on the website for you right now. Follow me on all podcast platforms, Social Proof Podcast. Go to your app or Spotify, look up Social Proof Podcast, and hit subscribe. If you like it, hit a 5-star review. It really, really helps us. And go to YouTube, Social Proof. Let's get it.
Already.
That's right.
Well, y'all already know, man. This Fat Nasty Podcast.
That's
Now
right.
one half of the Belly Gang Boys.
Let me put my belly on your butt, you heard?
And we signing out.